Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Power Platform for Newbies. So this now starts a new quarter for us. So we are going to focus on another one of the solutions on the Power Platform, which now is Power BI. So I've been hearing about BI reports and seeing BI reports, but I want to know how to build them. So I've got my specialist Andre here, who's going to teach me how to build a basic report. Hey, Andre.
Hi, Ray. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's going to be you see how easy it is to create your own report.
Awesome. Well, I installed Power BI just like you asked. So it's already installed on my machine. As you told me, I cannot use it from the internet. It's an actual desktop app.
Yeah, you would be able to use it on the internet if you're going to like consume a report or visualize some information, but you would need a license for that to publish the report online. If you're going to open and create reports in your machine, you wouldn't need the license. You just need to install Power BI, and then you can create your reports, and then you're good to use it in your machine as well. So
Awesome.
yeah, this would be the first step, installing Power BI desktop. After you do this, you will need to connect to a data source. And Power BI is really powerful in terms of how many data sources you can use and how different they are. For this episode, I thought of using some interesting data I found online. I Googled some NFL data and I sent you. Do you have it there?
Yes, I downloaded it.
Okay, so could you please open to show our audience what's the data we're going to interact with? So yes, this is a spreadsheet with a lot of rows because it has data of all matches from NFL in a particular period. So each row is like one player and how they performed in that particular match. So you would assume that there are a lot of rows, but Power BI can handle this nicely. You'll see. So there are some uh, each column shows like how many pass attempts this player tried this match, how many were completed, how many failed, how many yards it got from
So are
those
we going to
passes.
compare this?
Yeah, we're going to see it. Like, for example, what's the player who tried most passes in a match, for example? We can do this using this data. We are going to do some interesting, we will see some interesting charts in Power BI connecting this data.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's work with it.
Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to import this data to our Power BI. So you could click Get
Here.
Data. No, you could try get data in the top left. This would
Oh,
work
okay.
as well, but this file is not in, although you open in Excel, this is a CSV file. So it's a bit different. So you have there text/CSV in these options. Yeah. And you can find your computer where it was. Okay.
Great.
And in this example, in this episode, we're going to use a single table, just this information. So just hold it there for a second. Uh, But in the later episodes, we're going to use multiple tables, relationship across tables, data manipulation to change the types of columns, create some new columns if we want. But in this case, we're going to stick to the basics, keep it simple, just connect to the data, use it as it is, and use some visuals to show this data. So if you would transform this data and manipulate it and create new rows and everything, you would click transform data now. But we're going to click
Can I
load.
hit load?
Yeah, to use it as it is.
Perfect.
So it should take like a few seconds to load all of this data. It's creating the model,
Can I
loading
discard
data.
this?
No, you just need to wait. It's going to eventually, yep, gone. It's gone. Okay, so this is it. We have our data ready, but we need to select some visuals for it. Before you select the visuals, I want to give a brief overview about the Power BI Studio. So this is the software we installed. In the top ribbon, we have a lot of commands that we're not going to show all. We're basically going to be focusing on the right, where we have the visuals there in the visualization. So each of those small icons is a different kind of visual that we're going to be able to select and then plug the data and use it in this visual. and the data you can access in the fields to the right. So you see that there's a table there. Yep. Please uh, expand this NFL pass rush receive. Oops.
Oh, this. Sorry.
Yes. Please expand this. Okay. So these are the columns, the fields, the information that we have in the file that was loaded into Power BI, and we can use it to compose some visuals. So the first visual I would like you to create is like, uh, let's see how many passes at, just like I explained, just like I said previously, like let's see what player tries the most passes in a match and how well they perform in terms of pass completion. So you could use the third visual, for example. It's called,
This one.
yeah, clustered bar chart. Just click it. Okay.
Ah,
Okay, so now let's make it a little
expand it.
bigger. Yeah, make it a little bigger. And in the what, so what we want to see here. So we want to see players listed in rows there in this
Pass
visual,
attempt.
and in the columns we want to see the pass attempts and the pass completed. So first thing we're going to do is search for, yeah, pass attempts is okay. So please drag and drop this into the x axis in the visual. It's displayed right there. Yes. Let's see now players. So there's a player there. It's alphabetically. So please drag and drop the player to the
Which one?
y-axis. The player, not the player ID. The player should be their
Got
names
it.
in the y-axis.
Y access. Okay.
Yep. So there you go. This is the first visual that we can create. Like, so
Nice.
we can see that Tom Brady in this season, in this period of data, was the player who tried the most passes attempts uh, in all players. We could drag and drop the pass completed, which is pass CMP, right? Two two rows
There
below
we
the
go.
pass attempts. Yeah, drag it below the x-axis. Yes. So you can see like how many they tried and how many they completed. So how many were successfully.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So nice. So this would be our first visual. So depending on what we want to see, we can just drag and drop and compose our report here. So this would be the first one. So let's now insert our second visual. So please click outside the report, because if you click another visual, it's going to replace this one. But if you click outside, you're going to insert a new one. Let's
Okay.
use the pie chart.
This one.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So one thing I would find it interesting if we could evaluate is like, uh, does the home team has advantage over the visitor team? Uh,
Okay.
at, I don't know much about football, but in soccer, I know the home team has a big heads up. So usually the home team score more goals than the visitor team. Let's see if this happens in American football as well. So you could, yes, visitor score just like this one. Please drag and drop this to the values
Details. Values.
values.
Okay.
And let's do the same for the home score.
Okay.
The
Let's
same
see.
value, yeah, the same place.
Yep. All
Uh-huh.
right.
So we could see that the home team scores not in average, in total 478k points, and the visitor team 464k points.
1,000. Yep.
So yeah, 1,000, yeah. So the home team scores more than the visitor team, but it's much less than I expected. It's almost like a draw. So the visitor team doesn't have like a major drawback in comparison to the visitor team in football. So
Yeah.
this is one information that I found it interesting as well. Nice.
Awesome.
So do you want a last one?
Yeah. Let's do one more.
Yeah. So let's make some room for a report because you consumed all the space in this one. Or we can create a new tab. Let's
Yeah.
create a new tab. Yeah, we can have several tabs. Let's insert the tree map, which is two
Tree.
visuals to the right of the pie chart. Two visuals to the right.
This one.
This one, yeah. Just click it.
Oh, just click. You're right.
Let's make it the whole screen, this one. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to compare in this one, I saw that in the bottom of the fields, if you scroll down, we have some Vegas information there. I think this is about the betting houses and who are the favorites. And let's see who are the favorite in the majority of the games. So please drag this one, Vegas favorite in category.
Biggest favorite. Okay.
Yeah. And now let's see in terms of the count of matches. So there's one field called Game ID, which is a different ID for every match. Game ID.
Yep.
You can drag this to the values. It's going to automatically transform into count of games.
Wow.
So we can see like the bigger the rectangle, the more favorite this team is. So Kansas, you can see it in the top left, is the one that is the most favorite. If you scroll over, you can see the amount of games it was favorite, and the smaller the rectangle, like the
That's
the,
really
the
cool.
least favorite. Yeah,
Awesome. I
yeah.
feel
So
like
this is it.
I now can do some basic, visuals and reports with Power BI.
Yeah, awesome, right?
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Andre. Appreciate you taking the time to teach me. I definitely feel like I learned a lot of basic information today to get me started. Join us next time for another episode of Power Platform for Newbies. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, Ray. See you next time.